everyone, and welcome back to Austin Talks, where today we are covering week 26 and 27. It has for sure been a while, but here it is. I am actually, it's not a lot of news actually. I'm glad I did these over the 2 weeks while I was away, but there's actually there's not a lot of news to go over. So I didn't think, I thought it was quite good that I would do it in 2 weeks anyway. So, and without further ado, here we go. So, first off, we got the first trailer for House of the Dragon season 2, and this is one of the most well received shows of that franchise, and it's one of the most anticipated. So the clip that was shown, it was very short, but it did show what the plot is more about, and it wasn't much of a surprise. But it was released as a day when this. It did release a teaser as to when this will release. So the new show and the next installment in the Game of Thrones franchise is set to release on June 16th, and it looks as though it is just going to be as good as the first season. I've not seen the first season, or Game of Thrones to be exact, but this season is one of the most anticipated shows of the year, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. As much as I say, which is surprising to me, there are so many other shows, but you have to think of how popular the Game of Thrones franchise actually is. I'm glad it is one of those very anticipated because it's obviously well known. Now, I wonder what else is in store for this franchise. I know there's another show coming out to do with Game of Thrones. There's something to do with the ice people, but I am interested to see what this show has for us. We will be getting news soon enough, but June 16th, you can mark the calendars because that is when it will be releasing. So this week we also got we got an actual trailer for the Penguin show. So it was more of a teaser trailer, if anything, not a actual trailer. But I have been waiting for this for so long, and I'm so happy it is finally here. I had my speculations and doubts about this series because it didn't seem to be going in the direction that it should have been, but that you would have hoped it was. But it is doing well now. Now the tone is looking good, and it is sticking with the tone that the end of that this will be set at the end of the Batman film, and that it will be Penguin's rise to power after the death of Carmine Falcone, and then his feud with Sophia Falcone, Carmine's daughter. Now I have such high hopes for this show, and I know that this franchise does have other shows and stuff for it as well. And I know there's a second season for this already in the talks that is linked to the events of the upcoming GCPD series, which was allegedly not supposed to happen. But this is set to release this year. We still do not know, but I am so excited for this. Now, the show is that is how important this show is, because if it's going to be linked to other series, and it does keep us entertained considering the other film is supposed to release in 2026. So I think having a good variety would be good, and I also should set up the plot for the Batman 2, but I wouldn't want it to be one of those cases where it is it doesn't purely just focus on the crime bit. I would like some implementation of say Deathstroke or other characters, or introduce new ones like Two-Face or crime bosses. Those would be good, and people who are hireable. So yeah, this show does have a lot of potential, and I really, as I say, I'm really excited for it. But we know it's being released this year, but we still do not know when. But hopefully soon. But this week we also got a new trailer for Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now, it was actually only last week we had some news about this movie, and then we got a trailer about it, which was actually extremely surprising. And and it's definitely official. The Bad Boys are back. I'm glad Will Smith is back in the acting game. But after watching the previous films, I know that this will be good because when Martin Lawrence and Will Smith team up, they are truly amazing. And the trailer is just further evidence of this. I like the intro at when they're at the shop, and then the storyline does seem to get really juicy. And I like when they're in the shop. Is that a hot dog or is that a bag of Skittles? I think that's well cool. Now, for those who don't know, this movie is about the leader of the police being framed, and the bad boys must help out in this situation. Now, the release date has been confirmed, which is so much better and more satisfying, and there is no doubt that I will going straight to cinemas to watch this. This is releasing June 6th, so I'm definitely going to be watching this. I've already planned it, and yeah, the storyline does seem very similar to the third one, but I like how they've intertwined one of the main characters, such as the leader of the police. So yeah, but I think Bad Boys Ride or Die will be definitely a good movie. Well, at least we can only hope. I'm definitely gonna say that it's gonna be a good film. yeah. So, Chucky, the movie Chucky is apparently has the potential to be revamped. So the concurrent Chucky show is thriving and is actually very popular to my knowledge, and so are the very old and original movies. So I'm not sure why they're doing new movies. I mean, just to clarify, every other film is with revamps has not really gone well. But anyway, so I'm not sure why they're doing anything with new movies, and this is actually likely to happen as well. It's not like, oh, this is just a speculation, but it's likely to happen because it was actually teased by the original director who directed the very first original Chucky movie. Now, considering the trajectory of the show, with the show and stuff, I don't think this is necessary one bit whatsoever. But I'm not sure. I mean, this could go down the same route as the Alien franchise with the likes of Alien Romulus, which is said to come out soon. I mean, it's said to be that's another thing that's supposed to be very popular, but it could very much be a big failure, shall we say. Now, there are definitely pros and cons, but we do have to think about the new Chucky reboot. Do we want one, or is it really necessary? I think they should just carry on with the show because the show is doing very well. And I mean, Chucky is a very well beloved character in the horror universe. So I don't think you would need anything to change that, but that's just me. I like the Chucky films, and I don't think they need a new one. But hey ho, we'll see. Yep, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3 has officially been confirmed. Now, there's not a lot of information on this, but yeah, here we are. So, as I covered last week, the producers have confirmed a whole new universe around this new interpretation of cartoon classics. So, for those who don't know, it's the Poohniverse. Yep, the Poohniverse is going to have a Peter Pan. Yeah, a Peter Pan, a Sleeping Beauty, Bambi, which we'll get onto later in this video, and basically other traumatizing stuff, projects that will definitely put, just sick. But so it has been confirmed that there will be a third installment in this, in the typical Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey universe, along with the other weird and traumatizing projects that have been announced. Now, based on what's happening, it is looking like that this will be, it will be good because, I mean, the second one was brilliant. But it depends on when the rest comes out and how good they are. Yeah, it will probably be after the Poohniverse, Monsters Assemble, when that comes out, and we'll see the success on that, if that even does happen. We're all hoping. Oh, Pinocchio, that was the other one. That was the other one that I thought was just terrifying. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and I think when they could have stayed with the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, because the second one was very successful and the production value was a lot better than the other one. So I guess, well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're all I like how this universe is expanding, but it's going a really weird way for it. I think it's trying to pull in Avengers, but they're like, do we have enough to do this? Can we pull a Disney without pulling a Disney? It's weird, but I would like to see this. I'm very curious to see how this plays out because it's a good idea. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3. We may actually see Eeyore. I mean, his death was traumatizing, but maybe he's alive, like Piglet. So we shall see. This week we also got Marvel's Thunderbolts official set photos. Now these set photos aren't actually as revealing as I thought, but Florence Pugh released a few set photos as the production for this movie has actually recently started. So these set photos seen below, or just seen to the side, to me at least don't exactly reveal much, but from what I have seen about this, it appears to be I'm actually extremely wrong. So these set photos apparently reveal that this is she is in the Infinity War Black Widow suit, and from this we can assume that when this movie takes place, kind of. So this movie may take place before Hawkeye because Val already knew who she was and that the suit was made from both Yelena and Black Widow, and that she learns about her death and it would be after when she was with the Thunderbolts. So it's a long show, but makes sense. It does make a lot of sense, but it definitely does make it. It makes sense, but it's a lot of information that just somehow clicks together like a puzzle. So yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense because Yelena and Black Widow, they were based. Everything was made in pairs. I mean, except for the white suit. Well, I mean the white suit, yeah, the black suit as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had the same suit as well as Black Widow. So this could be her fit in the movie, and that this it actually may tell us when this is supposed to be. But it also wouldn't make sense considering then the Avengers would have known about Sentry, who is said to be the main villain in this, and I imagine they would have wanted to do something about that, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe he's already dead in this. But I am actually looking forward to the Thunderbolts. I mean, I was, but recent news has suggested that I shouldn't. But I want them to do the Thunderbolts well because they are the Marvel Suicide Squad, and it's always funny. But I also think it will go well considering how they've got a new character which can introduce the Dark Avengers and Green Goblin, with the new Spider-Man film as well. You've got so much on your they've got so much to utilize. So it would definitely be a waste if this wasn't the case. Oh yeah, this would. So with season 2 just being confirmed and the great reviews about the first season of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, everyone has drawn their attention to the original Percy Jackson movies. For whatever reason, I do not know. Now, since this, there have been many talks of Logan Lerman, who can be seen on screen, the original Percy Jackson, being interested in playing playing in the franchise once again. Now, when I say this doesn't necessarily mean he'll come back as Percy Jackson. From this, the potential for a follow-up movie is in the mix, either that or making a cameo in the second season. Now, none of these are appealing to me. I mean, the second one is the most obvious one, but having two conjuncture franchises would be very confusing, especially having Logan Lerman runs the risk of ruining the franchise depending on what they do with his character. I mean, I would just leave the Disney Plus version alone as is, because the first ones weren't very well received, but this series really was, and it was really well received. It was amazing. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the original films were as bad, but you're trying to battle success with. It's saying a success with failure is a bit of a stretch because it didn't fail, but that is essentially what you're doing, and you're bound to fail if you do so, because it's very uneven, and it would definitely bring the popularity of the Percy Jackson's new show down, which is not what we want. As I say, so Percy Jackson 3, I don't think is a good idea at all. I mean, they want to continue the show. They have the ability to. I mean, you read the books and then you also read the amount of storyline that there, ability that there is. You can absolutely do so, but I don't think the third movie is the way to go. I mean, you have so many. If the author decides to make more books, you can make as many series as you want. But season 2 is basically going to be Percy Jackson season 2, and the reason everyone loved this show was because it expanded on the actual storyline of Percy Jackson, him as a him when he was a child, and what it was like for him to just be revealed as a half-blood. So I think there's a lot of use there's a lot of potential, but not for a Percy Jackson 3 with Logan Lerman. That's just me. I don't know if you have a different opinion. Please do let me know in the comments. I like having like an opposed opinion, but that is just me. But yeah, we have got a Joker Fali Adur official poster now. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't show much, but for something like Joker Fali Adur with the likes of Harley Quinn and Lady Gaga in a blend, it is very bland, but I actually like the blandness of it. So it reminds me of the original Harley Quinn and Joker dance. If you have watched this Suicide Squad film and they show Harley Quinn's storyline, it's the original like suit with the original like their actual relationship, and it reminds me of the original Harley Quinn and the Joker dance, and that's what I actually I'm looking forward to about this movie. Now, the dullness of the poster is good as it sort of juxtaposes the tone of the movie as a poppy and colourful film. And obviously it's going to have like a nice sort of... It's going to have a very nice like musical tone. Now, alongside this poster, it is confirmed that next week, more specifically on the 9th of April... the first official trailer for Joker Fali Adur is being released, and I'm really excited about this because I want to know more, because there's not been a lot of news released about this film, and I think that's kind of good because then it leaves it up for mystery. But I kind of would like to see the trailer. So what we are. As I said, I'm looking forward to that, but considering the tone of the last movie, I'm looking forward to the contrast of being something colourful and poppy, but I do think Harley Quinn will mainly just be following in the footsteps of Joker with a musical vibe to it. That's essentially what I think this film's going to be. But the overall plans for this franchise are still like unknown. This may be the final one somehow, but as I say, we'll see. I'm not that fussed either way if it ends or not, because the first film, it doesn't. The only reason it was released is because it was a DC film, but its tones are very dark. But it depends on how this one turns out. Don't get me wrong, the first one was incredibly successful, but it just depends, as I say. A June Part 3 news and update. Now, this movie is another one of those highly anticipated sequels, and based on what happened with June Part 2, I would be surprised if they didn't actually do this movie. I mean, with Anya Taylor-Johnson just becoming, like, the sister, this would be basically a no-brainer. Now, I say this because technically the movie hasn't actually been this hasn't been greenlit by producers yet, but people have already come up with theories on how this movie will play out. One example is that Duncan Idaho, who initially died in the first movie, may return in this movie, and this has been said so many times, but I still don't know how. Now, I'm very confused about this as well, because the reveal of like Paul Atreides' sister Alia, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, it needs to be explained further. I mean, June Part 3, which is the one, there's so much news that it does really need to happen, and producers are very excited about it, but it still is yet to be greenlit, which we will apparently know very soon. How soon that is, we do not know, but I would like to see June Part 3 actually happen, because I've just recently watched June Part 2, and it was so good. I mean, I absolutely hated the first one. I mean, I know that's a very strong opinion, but the first one was so confusing and so extensive. But the second film was a big upgrade, and if it goes in the right trajectory, this one will be a masterpiece. So please, I'm begging for a June Part 3. So yeah, I know I may get like, what do you mean June was bad? I'm sorry. At first, I mean, I still kind of think this. The first one was essentially a Star Wars ripoff, but there was a specific part. If you haven't watched June 2, I'm not going to spoil anything, except for obviously the reveal of her sister. So I do apologize for that. But if you haven't seen them, go and watch them. But the first film was very much a ripoff. But there's a specific part in June Part 2 Never mind the spices, never mind the water stuff that makes the eyes blue. There's one thing that separates it from it, and I think that's the most important thing to think about. Oh yeah, news James Bond rumored. So for years now, there has been so many rumors as to who will be playing the new James Bond. But as of recent news, the one name that has been floating around the media has been Aaron Taylor Johnson, and it's as I say, it's not very concrete yet, but I mean, he played an amazing character in Bullet Train, and I think if he is playing the new 007, you would bring such a new sense of originality and a lot of humor to it. If you've watched Fall Guy, if you watch the Fall Guy trailer, you actually see him in that. You kind of get the gist of what kind of character he is, like the typical actor type person. It's the LA stereotype of like, oh, we all like the LA lifestyle. It's not true, but like I get the gist of that. I don't think that role's for Aaron, but I do think he'd make a good James Bond. Granted, I would still love Tom Hardy to play him, but it wouldn't be so. I wouldn't be so disappointed with this, because, however, I know a lot of people would be disappointed, and it would be the difficulty of trying to follow in the footsteps of Daniel Craig would be incredibly hard. And I mean, I'm not saying that Aaron can do that, but I would like it. I mean, yes, I want a new James Bond film. I just think there's we need a new one. No, I mean, everyone has their own favorite one, and they're like, oh, this one didn't follow that in the footsteps of this one. It doesn't matter, as long as they're different, and at least they all bring something new. Daniel Craig definitely did. I would like to see Aaron Taylor Johnson possibly take on the role, but as I said, we still do not know. Hopefully it's soon. As I said, we don't know. So The Matrix 5. Now, I actually thought it wouldn't happen, but especially based on the reception of the last film, which was horrible, because it doesn't look like this movie would do any better. If you look at what they're expecting for this film, this is not going to be good. Now, the plot of the last movie was very much a weird reboot of the first, as it didn't make much sense at all, but I have no idea what we can expect from this movie. More confusion was my first idea, but I do think that it will be risky for sure, as much as it has been confirmed, but it doesn't mean that it is actually set in stone. I mean, you know, films can get cancelled. Matrix 5 surely is one of them. So I'm not the biggest watcher of The Matrix, but I did watch the latest one, mainly because it was Christmas and there was free tickets. So, but like, after you watch that movie, and then you watch the other ones, granted that's probably not the best way to do it, but, here's one thing I'm definitely certain of. I was confused. It took me so long to figure out the film. There's a joke in The Big Bang Theory, is I've never seen Sheldon this confused as when he tried to figure out the third Matrix movie. I kid you not, that was me. My brain was fried, and the fourth one didn't help. So I mean, I don't know what they could do with The Matrix 5. I mean, they're not my cup of tea, but I know it's very popular, and I love the Neo dodging of bullets, but I'm curious to see what the plot is, but just please nothing with rabbits. Nothing with rabbits. Yeah, so this is the last thing I do believe. So, I've just realized the thumbnail is of a screaming deer. Okay, I thought the mouth was closed. So the first trailer has officially been released for Bambi: The Reckoning. And it has been released for this movie, and it looks a bit weird, even though this was a 75-second trailer. But there was a bit of impact, not much, but there was still a bit of an impact, mainly the scream, because kind of blew my ears off. I mean, from this, we sort of know the plot and what Bambi will look like. Yeah, we definitely know what Bambi will look like. Cursed. So first, Bambi just looks like something that arose from the depths of hell, with teeth covered at least 50% of his face. No, her face. Yeah. So lastly, and I'm also assuming that the plot here is when the guy mentions he shot a deer. I'm guessing he didn't kill it, and that Bambi was the deer, and it's now looking for revenge. That makes the most sense. I mean, it's a good and meaningful plot, but incredibly twisted. I mean, you shoot a deer and it wants to retaliate. I completely understand that, but I don't think something from hell was necessary. I mean, I'm gonna just leave Bambi alone. I like the cartoon. I don't. This is just traumatizing. I mean, with a name like The Reckoning, you know it's gonna be bad. But this is on a whole nother level. I mean, there was set photos released, and then there was like this teaser of like sketching art of when they released the, what was it, for the Puniverse. But this, oh my god. Yeah, I will not be going to see this. I mean, I've only recently just been able to handle horror, but this is too much. Wait, this is not it? Oh, okay, never mind. So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes' runtime has been confirmed. So more and more news about this film is coming further into light about the new Planet of the Apes franchise. I still have not seen the films, and the official runtime for this movie has officially been confirmed. So this movie is said to break a record in the franchise, breaking the runtime record of all the other films. So this movie is said to be 5 minutes longer than the last movie. I mean, it's officially breaking the record. I mean, I wouldn't say by much, but it's breaking the record. But I don't know whether if to be underwhelmed or impressed. So also this movie is very soon to be released. It's very around the corner, and they've officially started to release TV spots around it, and they've actually started. It is looking good, and they're really hyping this movie well. I'm still not sure if it's my thing. I've been told by so many people to watch them, and I mean, I've got a bit of free time on my hands after your GCSE, so if watching movies may be the way to go. So yeah, I mean, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's such if you read the plot, it does seem interesting, but I definitely think you need to watch the other films. It's also basing what other people have said. So yeah, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that's the end. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Right, with this show has just recently been released. The reviews are officially in and they are looking good, and I've just started to watch the first episode. But it's not the case where I can actually make my input. So as of the day writing this, I have watched it a bit more. I love it. Now, the common denominator of the series is that it is a very good series, and it is full of tone. Now, the tone is what the show relies on, and it will have a lot of meaning overall when linking to the original show that this is based on. Overall, there is that many have said that it's very entertaining, and hopefully there'll be I will have more time to watch it, and there will be and I will review the show obviously after GCSEs, so I obviously whenever I get the chance. But the first 2 episodes I was like, oh, I like this show, very much like this show. I mean, the ending of episode 2 was just, oh my god. So yeah, I really can't wait to watch the rest of this. Now this better be the end. Okay, that was a lot. I need water. Anyway, so everyone, that is the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope I said there was not a lot of weeks, but we're nearly up to half an hour. But yeah, that is essentially it. That is week 26 and 27. I mean, they're videos of 2 weeks, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were it was a bit of a longer video. So without further ado, everyone, I do hope you all have an amazing and a tremendous day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!